no chance I'm going to be able to close it. I can't. I'm still absolutely fascinated by the fact that I stopped that other show exactly at 30 minutes, like 30 minutes and 0 seconds on the nose. I couldn't do that again if I tried.
Yeah, it was good.
Because sometimes you just don't know how long it's going to take to stop. The end broadcast thing. It's just like sometimes it's 4 seconds, sometimes it's five. Um, yeah, if you just if you're joining us now, we just had the Amargau Football Daily. We talked about there's not a lot of action today. There's some Copa Libertadores games and Copa Sudamericana games. So I think Foxy's here. Maybe we'll kind of talk about that. Um, and see what goes on as I watch this terrible, terrible baseball game here. Um, which games? Which of those games today are you kind of targeting?
Well, I said in the Corinthians one, I was leaning towards the under, but I don't even know how you take it. It's under two, the 2.5. It's like one six minus 167 for the under. So
What
I don't
happened?
know. I don't
What
want
happened with
to.
that one yesterday? You had the question about to Foxy, and then what ended up happening with that?
Yeah. So that was oh man, that was a
Palmeiras got
game.
smoked, right?
Yeah, no, they lost 3-1, but it's not what you think. So Palmeiras scored the first goal, and they didn't look great, but they looked like they could have won the match. And then Bolivar ties it, and 9 minutes after they tie the match, I forget who it was, but he picked up a second yellow for Palmeiras, so he gets sent
Nelson.
off. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So he
Nelson
gets
got.
sent off,
Yeah,
and the first yellow they gave him was real BS too. So that was like a BS red card. It was obviously it was a yellow card the second time, but like because he got that first yellow card for something ridiculous, so they kind of screwed them. And literally minutes after the guy got sent off, Bolivar takes the lead. So then flash forward to the second half. Bolivar gets a second yellow card on a very bad tackle. And all of a sudden now we have a game again. It's 10v10, and Palmeiras had their chances to tie it, but I think by then the first guy getting sent off really ruined their momentum. Like if that didn't happen, they probably don't give up that second goal, and then maybe they come out in the second half with a better game plan because they were in it. They would have had a chance to win it. But yeah, I mean, whatever. I took the chance. It was plus 230. So
did they take was it their full lineup or did they take?
no, I think they did sit some guys for that one, but it's okay. I also had Cerro Patino and who was it? Racing Club. So those two won.
I saw that Serpentina 1-2-1, and what was that? I forget what the racing score was.
2-0, I
Um,
think.
yeah, interesting. Ajax 1-2-1. Real Madrid 4-0. I was not entirely stunned by that. Vinicius scored right before halftime. That was really big. But the second half, I mean, Benzema is just unbelievable. I mean, this guy's scoring hatch. I mean, he won the Ballon d'Or last year, and there's not even any talk about him winning the Ballon d'Or. And I think he's got like 34 goals or something right now. And then, it's
Everybody's
just
talking about Rashford.
rightly so, rightly so. Um, that's probably the wise one to be talking about.
I think somebody who should be getting a lot more attention than they're getting because they've quietly been pretty much the heart and soul of this team all year. But Koyo Saka, man, when he's not on the pitch for Arsenal, they look like a different team.
It's interesting. I read something about him today. His contract's coming up soon, and I'd be interested to see if Arsenal's got this wage structure and everything. So Real Madrid's going to give them a lot of money, or Barcelona could offer a lot of money, or Manchester City. Obviously Arsenal has been a Manchester City feeder team for so long. So I'll be interested to see that.
Well, you know what? If they go on to win the title, then I think that gives Saka some real reason to stay in Arsenal.
Yeah, I think so. Um, at this point, um, I think trying to think who else. I mean, obviously, if Manchester City wins the FA Cup and the Champions League, and Erling Haaland scores 800 goals, I think he could be up there as well. Um, but sometimes that has to do with all the other stuff, World Cup and Norway stinks. So
Well,
um,
you
yeah,
can't give you can't give the Ballon d'Or to him because you got to be human to win
yeah.
it.
It's, missed some games. It's interesting. Look, I think you could make the case if Manchester United wins three trophies and Rashford plays 87 games this year. I mean, it's crazy how many games they're playing. And the guy just scores every game too. I mean, scored another big goal yesterday, but um, it's eh, other than that though, not a lot of action today.
Yeah, like I mentioned it on the show we just did, but I was looking at Salernitana for tomorrow just because I don't know how you trust this Inter Milan team. They've been awful lately, especially on the road. They've had trouble scoring. I think they've gone scoreless in a few of their last away matches. And like I said on the other show, Inzaghi's done. They could win the Coppa Italia and the Champions League title, and he's still getting sacked in the summertime. There is no saving his job.
You got yeah, I think Napoli. I just Napoli's minus 160. So they should win, but why are they playing anybody in that game? Like, I mean, they're clearly, I wouldn't play anybody. I would just wrap people in wool for this, Champions
Well,
League.
they're still going to be missing Osherman, right? He said he's coming back for the first leg against Milan, so he'll be in the Tuesday match, but he's definitely not going to be playing tomorrow.
Wednesday, yeah.
Or is it
Look,
Wednesday? Oh,
yeah, it's Wednesday. I think if tomorrow meant something, maybe, but it doesn't. So
you're
they're
20 points ahead of the second place team. Like, come on.
yeah, they're they've still, even with that loss, they have three losses. They're 16 points clear, and there's 10 matches to go. I mean, it's not no, it's not over, but it's over.
You could add
Lots.
Juventus's 15 points back, and they're still double digits ahead.
I think the interesting thing to me here is, like I've been looking at this. Did you know who the second place team is in the league right now?
In Serie A,
Yes,
um, I know Inter's in fourth.
Inter's in fourth.
It's isn't it Lazio?
It is. Lazio all of a sudden is in
They've
second
been
place
on
with
fire
55.
lately. I do recall that.
Yeah, look, I mean that's they play.
Wow, I think AC Milan's in third now, right?
Yes,
We're climbing. We were in fifth like last week.
and Lazio is not playing in Europe at this point. I guess they got knocked out.
Yeah, who did they
So
lose to in the last one? Oh man, wasn't it? They were in the Conference League too, weren't they?
I think they were. They lost to AZ Alkmaar.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. They got destroyed at home. That
So
was the end of the tie right there.
there's another run for Bordentown. And 8-4. I don't even know, man. This game is crazy.
11-3, fourth inning.
Games, man. I try to say like, look, man, just send me the good games. People will argue this is a good game, but for a reporter, it is not a good. I don't need to be out here for 3 hours covering a game because it's the law of diminishing returns. If, by the way, the Bordentown has stolen third base, I think, at least three times in this game.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they have about 7 stolen bases in this game, and it's only the top of the. It's either the bottom of the third or bottom of the fourth. I can't even see the scoreboard. Um, oh, there's another run because nobody can field the ball.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Um, but yeah, so I those the games tomorrow are pretty tough to be honest. To be honest,
Even the Spanish game, like Sevilla, yeah, they've been great at home. They're not giving up goals. They're scoring goals. But Celta Vigo, can't really fade them right now.
yeah, Sevilla's plus 112 at home. Uh, it's pretty interesting. Once again, they have a big game. Uh, we talked a little bit once again on the other show, but maybe the biggest game of the day tomorrow is in France, Ligue 1. Like Lens is minus 240 against Strasbourg. PSG is only minus 121 on the road against Nice, which is I can't even believe PSG is at minus 120. I think where's Marseille? Marseille
Is
doesn't play till
that a
Sunday.
value play right there?
I mean,
Got to
PSG's
take PSG for the sake of taking them at that price.
pretty good. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're just like, I mean, a team. I know they're still in base. They're just. I mean, it's crazy. Like, they could implode here. If that team implodes and doesn't win the title, that'll be the worst coaching job in the history of ever. But like once again, like you can't even blame it on the coaches at some point because these guys, the players are all nuts. Like they need to just I don't even know, just implode the team. I mean, Messi's leaving, you know, Mbappe, just get rid of Neymar, get rid of all these guys. Portuguese reporter saying we're in agreement to pay the Ramos release costs. All right,
Really, where's he gonna go?
Manchester United.
Oh, you're taking him, hey? Replace Ronaldo with Ronaldo's replacement.
That's right. It's interesting though. Like
Well, now as Xavi can't call Bruno Fernandes the Portuguese guy.
we also have, you know, we have the lot too.
Yeah,
It's Manchester United have agreed internally to pay the release costs of Gonzalo Ramos, but it's whatever. I think they need to get two. They need to get him. Here's the thing: if Napoli wins the Champions League, I don't think they blow that team up because you can't. And Osimhen's going to be 150 million. He'd be great. But you could also get a Hoyland and Ramos for maybe the price of Osimhen. So two players. I think they need to start kind of and you could also probably Kane will be available. That ball's absolutely smoked. Player ran through the fence to catch it. Nice.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Not only is Napoli gonna win Champions League this year,
I think they might.
there is no way that team blows up if they win the Champions League title. They are retaining every single player they have.
I look. I think that's the case. I mean, if they win the Champions League, or look, even if they go to the final, they're going to get 100 million from that, and they're winning the league as well. So
But I
you're
think
going
I think a big thing is the players alone, right? You coming off a season where you blew the league out by more than 20 points, and then you also won the Champions League title, so you're the best team in Europe. Why would you want to leave?
yeah, I know. I agree with that. And it's gonna be tricky to try. I know Manchester United is in for the center back Kim, but once again, like I think Napoli could maybe sell a player or two to maybe to maybe fund some other ones. But I mean, if you see like their Osimhen is becoming like a god there. I mean,
Well, not even Oshman, man. It's Kvaratskhelia that's the god there. They're calling him Kvaradana.
well, the other thing too is he's linked with Leicester. Like, why would you leave Napoli for Leicester?
That's the other thing, right? Like, so they're calling Oshman's a god. They're calling him Kvaradana. Napoli is so starved for those Maradona days back there is no way they don't throw whatever money, especially if they're getting all that cash from winning Champions League and the league title and all that. There is no way they're not throwing big bucks at these players to keep them.
I agree. I mean, I think that's the, they're gonna have to. You're gonna have to just say, look, they won 150 million. That's just like they're not gonna be playing. Taking 100. You're gonna have to pay. You want Usman 150 million. And then Napoli will go out and buy fight. They'll go buy the kid from USG, the Nigerian striker from USG, and they'll bring him in, and they'll bring in players because they always do that. But right now, I mean, the Italian league, I mean, look, they got Serie A is going to have one of the finalists. Unless Benfica can pull off two straight wins over Inter, and then I would either AC Milan or Napoli, but I don't know if they're going to be able to bring those. You know, I
The only team
I
that has
wouldn't
a
leave it now.
chance, the only team that has a chance at signing Osimhen is Chelsea.
I but I think they could, but I don't know. Like, I mean, they just can't keep spending money at this
Well,
point.
that's my point. Is they would be dumb enough to pay the $150 million price tag.
I don't know if they can though. Like, you know what they would have to do? They would have to send like 5 players that way. Like, he wants to do these trades because they have so many players, but like because of financial fair play, if they finish like 10th and they're not in the Champions League, like they're gonna have like because the new rules come in, they can't have all these guys in. They're gonna have to get rid of players, and they're already talking about like swap deals and stuff because Todd Bowley's, the American guy, and like, hey, we're gonna do trades like in baseball. Not like it doesn't
No,
work that way. But
yeah,
like,
and that's another big like thing, right? About Todd Bowley buying this team. You're trying to treat it like a North American team when it's not. Swap deals are very rare in the sport.
yeah, like if you told me, if I was Napoli and I said, listen, we'll give you, 40 million and Pulisic, Tammy Abraham, Hudson Adoy, and blah blah blah. Like, I don't know, Mason. I don't know. I'm just making up names here. Maybe you do it because if you can get 4 players that are going to start for you, but Osimhen is the guy up front. But unless you're doing that, be like, I would just point to the release clause and say, look, man, 150 million. With the spend Chelsea's had in the last year, I'm not sure they can do it. I read they have to cut. I think they have to cut maybe like FFP. They only got around FFP because of they spread the length of the contracts, but I think uh, I think they have to spread. They have to get rid of players. Something with I don't know. They've spread the transfer fees because of amortization, but they have a new length on this, length of contracts. So this was the year to do it. But I think Chelsea, if they miss out on Champions League, they're going to have to sell a lot of players. I think they're going to be handcuffed a little bit. Plus, I understand why you want to go to Chelsea, but if Chelsea finishes 11th, who the hell wants to go play at Chelsea? You could go
Nobody.
play for Newcastle in the Champions League, up and coming team, Manchester United, Manchester City, and Arsenal. Who's going to have all this money to throw around now? Or I don't know. Maybe they actually might not because they haven't done anything in Europe. So they're going to win the Premier League, but that doesn't really get them that much money. But the teams that are going to have money are Newcastle and Manchester United, obviously. So I don't know. I mean, if I was a player, right now, let me ask you a question: would you rather go to Chelsea or Brighton?
Brighton.
Better team. They play better football. Yep.
Yep.
Chelsea
And
will
they
pay you.
showed through manager sacking, or not even really sacking. It got abandonment. Manager abandonment. and they're still doing better than the team that he left for. So, and now he doesn't have a job. Go figure.
That's right. You had. Oh, that ball smoked. Oh, nice play, man. Diving catch. Um, do you have any plays on any of the games today?
What the
Anything?
women's international
Baseball,
break?
football, Bulgaria,
No,
any women?
it's a very light day for me. It's not really. It's a weird Thursday. It's a really weird Thursday.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think I was looking at the schedule for specifically for Manchester United. I think uh they play five, 6 of the next 7. They play next Thursday. They play the following Thursday. They play the Thursday after that in Premier League. They play the Thursday after that against Brighton. They play the next 2 Thursdays after that in Europe if they get through. So they would be playing the next six Thursdays. So like the next the next 5 Thursdays will be European matches, or for the next 6, whatever it is. So it's gonna start picking up, but this week is just. I mean, there's Masters, but I don't know. People are all excited for the Masters on my Twitter timeline. I'm like, you really just sitting there watching golf all
I
day?
got it on in the background, Sean. Don't you be dissing the Masters.
Every even Newcastle fans thinking we can offer big money to get Osimhen and Car- Caradonna. Why would you leave Napoli, best team in Europe, for a
Cavaradonna.
Yeah, Foxy. Look, I mean, the only way they would do it is money. But once again, like Napoli, if they sell Osimhen, they don't need to sell anybody else. I mean, they'll go out and spend that 150 million and spread that around to 4 or 5 players and just make the squad even better. I mean, I know Osimhen is good once again, but like everybody, Lukaku scores goals in Serie A. So, you could find those guys. The winger. If he goes, he's gonna go for crazy money. And once again, you can go find wingers all over the place. So you're not getting. They're definitely not selling both of those guys for 250 anything less than 250 million. And then once again, who's got 250 million to throw around on two attacking players? I it's just pretty. I just it's a little naive. I think I and Foxy agrees with that. But yeah, once again, if Napoli wins the Champions League, nobody's leaving. Napoli gets to a final, nobody's leaving. That team's going to be set for years.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if you win Champions League and you blew the domestic league out by 20 points, why the hell would you leave? You're on the best team in Europe, and you could
They,
probably even go on to win the Club World Cup at that point.
I mean, they're painting buildings to look like Osimhen at this point. Like, looks like you see like some of these guys. They go from Serie A and they come to the Premier League, or they go from the Bundesliga and they come to the Premier League and they don't score as many goals and blah blah blah. And you're getting all kinds of crap on Twitter and from the fans. Like, look, man, just like you're revered there. You're revered. You're gonna win Napoli's first title in 33 years. You're going to win Napoli's only third Serie A title ever. Like, these guys could do whatever they want there. Like, they're kings.
And that's
And
why I was saying, they're so starved. Like, there's no way they don't do everything possible to keep those players.
like hope once again Serie A looks like it's kind of coming back here. I mean the teams are doing really well in Europe, so they've they've
It's
come.
coming back. They're doing well in Europe, but like the league is not even a
Oh yeah, no,
competition.
it's
Still.
crazy. It's crazy. I mean, the Premier League dwarfs everything at this point. So.
And like I said, AC Milan winning a close race last year just goes to show you how bad City I was. Okay, I give no credit to my team. I know they just beat Napoli 4-0, but
I'm gonna say like
it's a dangerous move.
I know Saka is good, But like once again, if I was a Manchester City fan and lost a chance to tie my hated rivals with by winning three in a row here, and let's be honest here, you're kind of letting it slip at a time when Newcastle is going to be spending, Newcastle is coming up on the scene, and Manchester United obviously is coming back on the scene here, and you know, Arsenal obviously with this team, I still don't think Arsenal's that good. I mean, they got knocked out by Sporting, but you know, Manchester City kind of had this chance to become win three in a row, and let's not forget all this stuff hanging over Manchester City. At some point, that's going to come home to roost. But I just think now that the Premier League is and you got Brighton and these teams. I mean, it's just flush with money, so it's just tough, man. It's tough to win these titles, and you come over here and you get beat up. I mean, the referees are terrible. You get fouled. I mean, these other leagues, you see these La Liga matches and you see the Spanish referees doing the anytime a guy gets touched, it's a foul, and that's not the case. And they can't even get VAR right. So you're giving up all this stuff to come over here. It's not always better. Look, you're going to be getting a lot more money, yes, but it's not always. You're leaving Italy to come to England. It's tough, man. You gotta, you better be getting paid a lot. I'll say that. So, but yeah, it's kind of any kind of last thoughts here today. We do a little bit of a shorter. Well, this is going to be what we're going to try to do here now. 30-minute shows on Capital Sports Network. If you're here for Amargo Football Daily, 30 minutes on the nose. But any kind of last thoughts here on the day? You gonna be you watching any games tonight?
No, I'm probably just gonna watch baseball. I don't know. I didn't like the Copa Libertadores games today too much.
I probably I tried to watch once again. I tried to watch that game last night, but I turned it off. The Vancouver, Vancouver's playing on the turf. The turf here at this high school was is nicer than that turf they played on. I couldn't believe how bad it is. Another stolen base. These guys don't even. You gotta check the runner every once in a while, man. You can't be just letting them run. But yeah, so but we'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock on Margot Football Daily. Tomorrow we got three shows, man. Margot Football Daily. You got this show, and then you got the big football show where you're going to talk about all the games. That home run. Always. Oh my God! The kid was hit off the fence. The kid was on second base, right? And he was running the ball, crushed it off the fence, way over his head. He's just scoring easy. He ran around third base and like just
Oh my god!
on his face. And then he's like, the kid threw back behind him. He was like crawling back to the bag. He was just almost out. He should have scored like easily. If I was a kid on
No.
second, I'd be mad. I'd be like, man, you just cost me an RBI. But all right, so we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be talking more stuff, and we'll see what we have here. All right, thanks for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow.